Hey there guys, Fillers here, wanting to teach you a little bit about how to get your PlayStation 3 controller set up, working, and being fully accessible with your Dark Souls game. I didn't run into this situation. Well, I ran into the situation. I had to look around online for a bit and figure out exactly how to make it up and running. I made a mistake of trying to set up my controller as being a PlayStation controller rather than a 360 controller. Some of you might also just have the difficulty of not knowing how to get everything installed, up and running, and you're just running into a cacophony of situations and problems. So, to get started, if you're, just like me, went out, bought a PlayStation 3 controller today just for the purposes of playing Dark Souls 3. Crap, not Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls. Then what you need to do is check it on out. You need the 6-axis driver, and this link right here is what I'll be having down in the description below. So you can go and download that bad boy, get that on set up, install that, install this first, and then what you're also going to need is the Motion Joy controller program, which is this download and this actual URL right here, which is once again going to be in the description. So once you've downloaded and installed the 6-axis driver and then download and installed Motion Joy, what you're going to want to do, open up your DS3 tool, this is actually the Motion Joy program. So off the start, what you want to do is cruise on over to the device manager setting, and this is just for the purpose of figuring out which one of your actual USB controllers you're connected up to. So take your PlayStation 3 controller, attach your USB device to it so you can plug it in manually. You can try to set up the Bluetooth if you want to. That's a whole nother smorgasbord of issues, and I do not recommend it. Just, if you have a USB controller, or if you have a PlayStation 3 controller and a USB cord, just plug it in directly. Regardless, take that, plug it on in, and you'll notice immediately, right now I show port number 005, which is my mouse, 0005, whatever. Plug this on in, and all of a sudden port 0002 shows on up, and because I've actually installed this before, it already shows the Motion Joy driver, but let's pretend like that's not set up. We notice that this is port 0002, so that's just mental note to make sure that you do not load a driver on top of another device. If you do, it'll completely destroy that other device's driver, and you'll run into issues like if it's your mouse is not going to work any longer. So make a mental note of that. Now, even though you actually have a PlayStation 3 controller plugged in, you don't want to choose PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 point of view, or PlayStation 2 for PCSX or anything like that, or even the PlayStation 3. What you want to select is the Xbox 360 controller emulator, and this is for Dark Souls. It's because it's a Microsoft Xbox Live, The PlayStation 3 connection and settings does not work correctly. Not at all. That's the whole reason I looked up this tutorial on how to get this to work to begin with. Figured it on out, tried it, and have verified that it actually does work. So once this is set up, you've selected Xbox 360 controller emulator. You need to go and click on the Enable button. Clicking on the Enable button, you'll notice in the lower right-hand corner, if you don't actually already have the drivers installed, you'll see a little installation if you see where my mouse is. And oh yeah, that's where it's at, right in the lower right-hand corner. It'll do that, do the little installation, and once it's done, go over, click on the driver manager, find out that port, once again, that is actually your port for your PlayStation 3 controller. If you don't remember, if you have a very short memory, or you just have 5,000 things connected, you can always just away. There we go. Plug it back in, and voila, it is now set up. So click on the checkbox right next to it. Click on and that'll actually load all the drivers that you need just for the device using the Xbox 360. And as you see down below, you'll get a little bit of update. Success or success if you want to. Shows that it's completed, so we're good to go on that manage in that situation right there. Go back on over to profiles. Everything looks good. Let's do one last little test to make sure I can actually get feedback and updates from the controller. Go to the Xbox 360 controller emulator, go to options, and you get, this smorgasbord of issues and, well, not issues, but lots of options that are available to you. You go, I don't even know what the hell most of this stuff does. I don't even care. This lets you manually set up all your options and all your inputs if you want to. We don't care about any of that. We just want to click on the little game controller panel in the lower right-hand corner. Click on this. It's going to say your controller, which is the Xbox 360 wireless receiver. So that's the driver that you just loaded. Click on properties. You get brought to this little page right here, and you can just mess around with your controller. As you can see right here in the middle, where my mouse is at right now, you can see that it moves around. I can hit all the buttons, and lots of cool stuff little happens to it. So that means that things are working as expected. I'm happy with that, and it's bitching and roaring and ready to go. Also, as a little heads up, if you're currently in the game, Like let's say you're doing this in the foreground and Dark Souls is happening in the background. You need to close your game, and once the game is closed and you reload it, you'll notice right away that your controller is actually being responsive, and you can putz around and do whatever you need to do. So thanks so much. Hopefully that was informative to you. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and I will put those descriptions as well as these links in the descriptions down below for all those that need help and want to go and access immediately. All right, thanks so much. Take care and have fun.